Hello, everyone. Today we have with us Michael Begg, co-founder at AMZ Advisors. Michael, thank you so much for doing the show today. I know you're not well. Really appreciate you coming on the show and not rescheduling it.
Dawood, thank you for having me. No, I'm glad to be here and share my experience. Hopefully, provide some value to your audience. My arm doesn't work, but my voice still does. So I'm glad to talk as much as I can.
Well, I really appreciate that, Mike. As an agency, you work with a lot of e-com stores. You focus a lot on Amazon, advertising, Amazon SEO, and even help like e-com stores expand as well. But before we dive down deep into e-com, Amazon, and your experiences, it would be great if you could introduce yourself and your company to our viewers.
Of course. Yeah. So I'm Mike. I'm one of the founders of AMZ Advisers. Our company has been around for about 7.5 years now. And what we do is we specialize in helping brands and manufacturers sell more on the Amazon platform primarily, but in e-commerce in general. We have 3 different locations, one in the US, one in Mexico, and one in Brazil. And we have about 45 employees in total. And we help with everything from, like you said, SEO on Amazon, content creation, graphic design, storefront creation, whatever it may be there, the advertising and marketing strategy to actually help your brand grow. And then also on global expansion. We help a lot of brands move into Latin America through Amazon, as well as other platforms like Mercado Libre.
Right. Mike, what are the biggest trends in e-coms that you see right now?
I think it's a common trend across any platform if we look at it over time. When we think about the Amazon platform, the cost of advertising and the cost per click has continued to rise over time. More and more big multinational brands have started pouring more advertising dollars into the platform, pushing up a lot of that cost. And we really saw that start with lockdowns during the COVID period. And it's continued since as a lot of brands have seen success. So as advertising costs continue to increase on Amazon, people are going to continue to look for other opportunities to maximize their ad budget, which is where we've seen a lot of success with TikTok advertising, for example, or other platforms, possibly like Pinterest. So I think that's one of the trends, is constantly looking for a new, cheaper source of traffic to really drive the traffic to whatever it is, your storefront, your web store, your Amazon listings, whatever platform you're trying to achieve. I think that's the biggest trend that we're seeing is cost-conscious brands trying to maximize their advertising budget.
Right. You talked about TikTok. There are so many marketing channels out there, right? And it's not that every marketing channel will work for every brand. It depends on the industry, the brand, the budget. I mean, when you go about choosing a marketing channel, what is your strategy? How do you decide which channel to go after?
Yeah, so what we really start with is trying to figure out the product market fit. And then from there, we look at what platforms are available to us to try to put the product in front of the right audience. So for example, if it's a product that's more catered to women, a great platform to use is Pinterest, because Pinterest has an 80% audience of women. TikTok can also be good because it has a factor of virality right now, but it also has a younger female audience as well as male. So again, it really depends on the product. Other examples of products might be, a pet product that might do well on Pinterest. It might do well on TikTok. It's probably going to do well on Instagram. So we really look at what the product is and where we think we can get the biggest return on investment there. And then outside of that, it's just a matter of, are there certain markets or certain countries or marketplaces that might be less competitive for this type of product or might provide a longer term benefit? So like I said, we specialize a lot in helping people get into Latin America. We also do a lot of work in Asia. So we really look at, where can we help your brand? Not only where can we help your brand grow in the US, but where can we help your brand grow internationally to maximize visibility over time?
I understand. Mike, any favorite e-com platforms?
Amazon is obviously a big favorite of ours. I started as an Amazon seller. My 2 partners started as Amazon sellers. And then from there, we grew from there. It really provides a massive opportunity to anyone launching a brand, although the market is continuing to mature and you see more and more household name brands coming into the platform if they're not there already. But when it comes to a visibility standpoint, there's no easier way to put your product in front of potential customers than the Amazon platform. It's already where everyone's going to find products. And now it's just a matter of, all right, can I run the right ads or focus on the right keywords or the right audiences or whatever it may be to try to put this product in front of the right person.
Right.
The other market that the other platform that I'm a big fan of right now is Mercado Libre. Okay. We've seen some really good success in Mexico. We're also seeing some good success in Colombia, Chile, and Brazil with Mercado Libre platform. So that's another area that we focus on a lot.
Right. How is Amazon advertising different from the Google, paid advertising?
From functionality wise, there's some differences. I mean, they're both at the basic level. They're mainly keyword based advertising, which makes the functionality similar between the platforms. Obviously, they each have additional features with display and targeting and audiences and things like that. I think the biggest difference between the two platforms, though, is really the intent of the people you're reaching. So if I'm advertising on Google, I'm not necessarily finding people or putting my product in front of people that have high buying intent right now. Versus if I'm advertising on Amazon, well, they came to Amazon to find a product or to buy a product or to learn more about a product or a category, whatever it may be. And these people have a lot higher buying intent. So comparing the two platforms, I'm more likely to convert people with my Amazon advertising than I probably am with my Google advertising. And I may see a better ROAS or a better ACoS on the Amazon side than I would see on Google. And that may determine where I want to spend more of my money on the advertising side. So I would say that's probably the biggest difference between the two platforms.
Right. What would make more sense, expanding to more marketing channels or expanding your own product line?
I think it depends a lot on the product and the brand. If you have a very well-known brand or a very large and loyal brand following, I think product line expansion provides a good opportunity to you. It allows you to already remarket to people that have purchased your product, that love your product, that are potentially raving fans of your product and get them to purchase again. Operationally wise, it may be easier to actually expand to a new marketplace instead of having to develop a new product. Both of them take time, but expanding marketplace channels can be a much easier process for most brands. I would say that, if it really depends on where you are right now in your journey as a brand. So,
right. Mike, when you create an advertising strategy for a client, what does your process look like?
So there's a lot of different steps in it. I mean, the first basic step is just qualitative and quantitative. So quantitative, what does our data look like on whatever the platform is, whether it's Shopify, Amazon, Mercado Libre? How are we converting? How much traffic are we getting? What can be realistic goals? And then qualitative, how do our product listings look? How is the customer shopping experience or the UX when they come and hit the platform or the page or whatever it may be? Can we do anything there to improve it? I think those are the two fundamentals because that will guide a lot of the strategy on what else you're going to be able to do. So for example, we'll start there. Usually that gives you a good indication of what the main products are or what the products have the most potential or what the highest converting products are. And then from there, we'll start building out the advertising strategy around, okay, how can we get more placements on the highest search volume keywords that are converting for this product or that are relevant for this product? And then can I test these keywords from there? That's just the initial start of an advertising game plan. And, it kind of gets you up and running on the way. And then from there, especially with Amazon, there's so many different iterations you can do between keyword segmentation, targeting segmentation, sponsored brands, and then segmentation within that. And then audience targeting and retargeting and things like that with the sponsored display side. So we could talk for a long time about different opportunities or potential for marketing strategies within Amazon. But, the fundamentals start with what's the data look like? How's my product converting? Where are people going? And then how does my product look? What's the customer experience? would I buy this, or would anyone as a customer be interested in purchasing this product from the way my listing currently looks?
Right. Your go-to tools.
There's a lot. So a couple tools that we've been a big fan of lately, especially for Amazon, is ZonGuru. We really like a lot of the research features and some of the other software features they have. On the advertising side, we're a big fan of the IntentWise platform. Gives us a lot of the ability to customize our own rules and optimize for specific goals or campaign strategies that we're trying to achieve. And then going back to some of the more well-known tools, I'd probably say Helium 10 is another valuable tool for the Amazon platform. With Mercado Libre, it's a little bit harder, but those are probably some of the main tools that we use.
Right. How important is the PPC audit, and how do you do it?
So the PPC audit is going to help us determine a lot of what our marketing strategy is going to be going forward. It comes into a variety of different ways that we perform it, but essentially we look at what the keywords are or how the campaigns are currently structured, and then seeing if we can structure them better. So we always recommend doing one product per ad group, or one parent listing with similar variations per ad group, to segment the products and segment the keyword data. So if that's not there, we would start by restructuring the existing advertising campaigns to be better suited to the structure that we prefer. It gives us better data segmentation. We can actually tie keyword performance or product performance to specific advertising goals. That's extremely important. From there, then it's actually looking at how are our keywords segmented. So do we have high search volume keywords with low search volume keywords? Do we have long tail keywords with short keywords that are high traffic? If we're putting high traffic or high volume search terms with other keywords that don't have as much high volume, those higher volume keywords are going to pretty much suffocate those other keywords. They're going to take all of the ad spend, all of the budget. So it's important for us to also segment the keywords based on the match type, based on the search volume, and we'll essentially create multiple campaigns if we need to for if we're using phrase, exact match, or broad match, whatever it may be, to segment that out. From there, it's also, are we doing our own keyword research? So do we have our automatic campaigns that are harvesting keywords within the Amazon platform? Is that giving us more data that we can use or that we can leverage to reach customers in new ways? And then again, it's using this same strategy and expanding the sponsored brands after that, and then sponsored products after that. So really, it starts with structure, making sure everything's done correctly, then having the proper segmentation. And then from there, it's going to take time. It's going to take testing. What are the right bids that maximize my impressions, that maximize my click-through rate? And that's a constantly ongoing process once you've started actually doing the advertising.
Right. Most common mistakes people make while doing keyword research, especially in Amazon.
That's a tough one. I think probably the most common mistakes would be including unrelated products in your keyword research or loosely related products. I think the main thing you want to focus on when you're doing keyword research for Amazon is what are the most closely related products to what my product is. Who are my direct competitors, and what keywords can I get from their products? If I start going a little too broad with loose match or with loosely related keywords, I'm going to get a lot of keywords that maybe won't convert. Maybe it's a stretch that it'll convert. And likewise with product targeting, I don't want to go too far on the loose side to get products that are complementary or supplement. Well, complementary products are something I want to avoid. So I wouldn't do keyword research using complementary products. I would really just focus on exactly who my direct competitors are and what keywords they're leveraging, and then try to leverage that keyword research for my own advertising. Right.
What are the other important things to look at apart from keywords? You feel a lot of people miss.
The other, non-advertising data things to look at are, again, a little bit more qualitative. How does my image look compared to my competitor image, my competitors' images? Are they doing anything within their copy that might make sense for us, or within their images that might be something we want to replicate? And then price point is also a pretty significant one to consider. How is my competitor significantly underpriced for me? Is my competitor significantly higher priced to me? Both of those are going to impact your click-through rate and your conversion rate, which is obviously going to affect your advertising performance. And once you kind of have a bigger understanding of what those, I would say, non-advertising data points are, then you can use that information to your advantage while you're managing and growing your advertising campaigns.
Right. Best practices for creating the product listing copy on Amazon, and what does your process look like?
Yeah, so our process, it starts with doing thorough keyword research. Again, we're focused mainly on who the direct competitors are, what keywords they have, leveraging that keyword information, and then identifying what the highest search volume keywords are within that keyword set. The best practices that we focus on are using that top volume. There are as many of the top volume keywords as you can within the title, and then ordering the rest of your keyword usage throughout the bullet points and descriptions and search and back-end search terms based on what you're actually seeing in the search volume list. With the back-end search terms, we recommend obviously doing keyword deduplication. So not putting the same keywords over and over. If you use them in the front end, don't use them in the back end. We even deduplicate the phrases, just get the actual keywords and allow Amazon to start indexing us for related keywords in the search term field. And then with the bullet points, we recommend short, concise bullet points. So I think if you get a little bit too crazy with length, it really doesn't provide that much value, especially on the mobile platform with Amazon, because no one even sees your bullet points anymore. And that brings me to the last point. The other best practice is use your main selling points or the main benefits to your consumer within your images. Use it text overlays on your other images other than your main image to really call out what the main features of the product are. Because again, on the mobile platform, people are seeing your images first. Even now on search result pages, you can click through the images before clicking into a product. So calling out what the main features are, what the main benefits are, is extremely important for getting people to your page now.
Right. What are the main issues involved with scaling these businesses?
The main issue, or there's a bunch, but I would say the main issue is lack of investment. I think a lot of brands have a set budget in mind or set efficiency target that they want to hit. They want an ACoS of 20% or 15%. They want to not spend more than $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever it may be. I think a lot of it is focusing on what your actual growth potential is. So if I'm limiting myself to a 20% ACoS, that means I can't be as aggressive on more competitive keywords, which means that I'm losing out market share to other competitors that are being more aggressive. So ACoS or ROAS is a little bit of a misleading metric on the Amazon platform. It really depends on what your goals are for growth. If you just want to make money, you just want to be profitable, you're not as concerned with growing your brand, then yes, targeting a lower ACoS is fine. But I think a lot of times, like I said, there's a disconnect between what brands say they want to achieve and then what they're actually trying to do to achieve that.
Right. Any tips you would give to help manage advertising, budget in a better way?
I think one of the tips I said before was proper keyword segmentation. Obviously, you want to make sure that you aren't suffocating keywords that have potential. You want to make sure your longer tail keywords have the opportunity to actually spend, since the ROAS on those are probably going to be higher than a lot of your higher search volume keywords. They're going to be a little bit less competitive. The click-through rate, the cost per clicks will be lower on those than you'll see on the higher search volume keywords. I think that's a big way to start managing your budgets better. With high search volume keywords, it really comes down to granular bid management. With each product, there's more than likely that there's probably going to be only a few high search volume keywords. So going in there and seeing how your bid changes every day and how that affects the impressions it gets or how it affects the ACoS or whatever metrics you're prioritizing becomes a lot more manageable when you just know that, all right, these are my high search volume campaigns. Let me start getting a little bit more granular with this. So bid optimization and keyword segmentation are probably the two ways to get the most out of your budget.
Right. Mike, tell us your favorite client story.
My favorite client story. Okay. I think Well, this is an interesting story. So I actually had a client when we started. She worked with us for about a year and a half. We took her brand from about $10,000 a month, got them up to about $75,000 a month within about 6 months. And they thought that everything was smooth sailing from there. They're like, you know what, we can handle this on our own, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna, stop your services, stop working with you guys. They ended up leaving. And in 6 months, their sales kept dropping off. They fell all the way back down to about 20,000 because they weren't managing the platform closely enough. I think this is one of the great benefits of working with an agency or with an e-commerce expert that can help you achieve your goals. But to make a long story short, they actually ended up coming back to us after 6 months, admitting that they were incapable of doing it. And from there, we actually scaled their brand up to about $400,000 a month in sales. So, it's a great feeling when someone comes back and they're willing to keep giving it a shot. So I think that's probably one of my favorite client stories.
Right. Recommendations for Amazon new sellers.
I think it's tough right now on Amazon. I think finding a lot of other traffic sources outside the Amazon platform to get more people to your listing is probably one of the priorities you should have. I mean, if you have great SEO on the Amazon platform, if you have great images that are actually going to convert customers, then it's just a traffic game. If you don't have the budget to advertise on Amazon, you should start looking at other cheaper platforms like TikTok, possibly Google, possibly Pinterest. Facebook right now is a little iffy. Maybe Instagram might work a little bit better for you. It's a lot of testing. And then outside of that, one of the things that we were actually talking about before we jumped on here was the SEO link building. Yeah. Link building is a very valuable source over time to start building more and more traffic to a listing. It's a long game. You're not going to see immediate results, but if you can start consistently building links over time to your product, you're going to index better on Google, on Bing, or whatever other search platform they might be using. And that's going to have the potential of bringing in more free traffic for you over time. So again, I would just try to maximize the most out of your budget, figure out what platforms are going to work the best for your products. And that's how you can get in there and start competing with in more mature markets where sellers have been there long, or where bigger brand names are starting to come into the platform and dominate the advertising within a product category.
Right. Well, Mike, thank you for your time. But, before you go, I like playing a quick rapid fire round in the end. Okay. 3 to 5 questions. Ready?
Yeah, I'm all set. Whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Ooh, that is a hard one. I would say motivated, efficient, and probably stubborn.
If a movie was made on your life, what genre would it be?
I think it would probably be a thriller, as you can see from my broken collarbone.
Yeah. Who is your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero. Oh, wow. That's a hard one. I don't know. I actually have never even thought about that before. I'm probably going to have to go with a generic one. I'll probably just say Superman, because he can get everything done.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
I am very much a morning person. As soon as I see the sun up, I am up. Even before that, if I have other things to do. The morning is my favorite time of day. There's so much to get done. There's so many things to get out there and see. So I love being up early for it.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It was a fun chat.
Thank you, Dawood. I really appreciate the chance to come on your show and tell you more about myself and about the Amazon platform. If there's anything else I can do to help you or to help your audience, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is mike@amzadvisers.com. And I'm glad to talk to you about anything e-commerce, anything about expanding, anything about Latin America. Feel free to just let me know.
Sure. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Dawood.